If you're watching this video, you're probably Scottish and probably also eligible to vote in the next Scottish Parliament elections due on May the 5th, 2021. You probably even know how voting in that election will work, but you may be confused by why it is run like it is. Well, that's what this video is for. Today, we will be exploring the method used to elect MSPs to the Scottish Parliament, the Additional Member System. The Additional Member System, or AMS, is a proportional voting system. This means it aims to make the proportion of seats each party wins as close as possible to the number of votes the party receives from the voters. This is in contrast to the purely first-past-the-post system used for elections to the UK Parliament. Under that system, the UK is divided up into constituencies of roughly equal population, and in each constituency there is a vote for that area's local representative in Parliament. The winner of this vote is the person who receives the most votes in that area, though not necessarily a majority. This split between local votes, which don't require a majority to win, and the national picture, which is made of many of these mini-elections, often leads to a large discrepancy between the share of votes a party gets nationwide and the number of seats they win in Parliament. AMS aims to reduce this problem by dividing the country in two different ways. It's still split into constituencies, 73 in Scotland, but it is additionally split into regions. A region is a collection of constituencies in a large geographic area, which has multiple representatives, as opposed to the one representative constituencies have. There are 8 regions in Scotland, and each one is represented by 7 MSPs. When a voter votes in an AMS election, they're given 2 votes, one to vote for their constituency representative and one to vote for their regional representatives. The constituency vote works just like a first-past-the-post election. People vote for a person to be their local representative, and the person with the most votes is elected. However, their second vote is quite different. Instead of voting for individual candidates, voters vote for a party. These votes are then used with the number of representatives each party already has in that region to maximise the proportionality of each party's representation. Across the world, many different methods are used to achieve this proportionality, but in Scotland, the system used is called the D'Hondt methods. The D'Hondt method uses the following steps. First, for each party on the list, the number of actual votes they received is divided by the number of MSPs, both at the constituency and regional level, they already have in that region plus 1. Then, the party with the most adjusted votes is awarded a seat. This process is repeated until all 7 regional MSPs have been allocated. At that point, the parties decide who they want to fill their seats. Here's an example of how a region's seats would be allocated. You can see in the top left graph, the blue party is clearly the dominant force in this region, with sizable orange opposition and a little grey representation as well. However, there is decent support for the yellow and light blue parties, who didn't win any constituencies, as indicated in the top right graph. Let's say we have 7 regional seats to fill. After step 1 of the D'Hondt method, the yellow party have the most adjusted votes, as shown in the bottom right, so they are given the first additional seat. You can see this reduces their new adjusted vote count, as their actual vote count is being divided by a larger number of representatives. Light blue now has the highest adjusted vote share, so they get the next seat. Now both of these parties, who have a vote share similar to the grey party, have a seat in Parliament, whereas under first-past-the-post they would have 0 representation. The next seat is due to be given to the orange party. They already have 3 constituency seats, but nonetheless they are underrepresented compared to the total votes they received. The yellow party have the most adjusted votes again, so they are given another seat. Then the blue party receives a seat, taking their total up to 7. The orange party are given another seat, and the grey party receives the final seat. Looking at the final seat counts in the bottom left compared to the votes, it is a lot fairer to the orange, yellow and light blue parties than the constituency results alone. AMS's main advantage, as just demonstrated, is that the final results are more representative of the way people voted than first past the post is. AMS also mitigates a major flaw with first past the post called the spoiler effect. This is where voting for a smaller party makes it more likely that the party you dislike will win. This leads to voters coalescing around two main parties, leading to these two parties winning almost all of the seats. The proportional allocation of additional members reduces the severity of this effect in AMS elections, allowing voters to vote for smaller parties. Opponents of the system point out the added complexity and the fact that AMS elections are less likely to return majority governments than first past the post elections. When election day comes, voters in Scotland will be ticking two boxes, one for a person and one for a party. No matter their political knowledge, the additional member system will be working to make sure they're represented. Thanks for watching till the end. It's been a great project to work on and I hope you learned something. If you want more videos like this, a like is always appreciated. Hope you have a good day.